Michael Schneider, here's my bottom line, and this is what I've decided to do with my audience and with my main focus. I'm going to really just publicly call for Trump to take the gloves off and to come out and excoriate these criminals. And then the minute he gets into office, the gloves have to come off, brass knuckles have to go on, and we have to go ahead and move forward with grand juries for what's in the WikiLeaks and all the crimes, and we have to start indicting these people because they're never going to stop. These are loose terrorists. These are globalists in the country, hell-bent on getting our guns, hell-bent on bankrupting us, hell-bent on ruining our healthcare system in their own documents, making us helpless, making us desperate, making us poor. That's in the WikiLeaks. And everybody from Gruber right through to Hillary, Obama, all of them, Obama ordering the borders wide open and then trying to keep it secret. That is sedition. That is true treason against this country. And I'm sorry, I'm not a vindictive person. They're never going to back off. They're never going to give up. They're talking about going into insurrection terror mode in major newspapers, saying it's time to burn things down and blow things up. And the media just sits there, and the Secret Service just sits there. We have to start removing this enemy force. I have met them. I know them. I've seen them. They say, we are for global government. We are against the family. We are here. We will assimilate you. They are a cult. They're never backing down. And Trump has to run them over.
Yeah, Trump better be ready for the fight of his life, because just because he won the election, that's not the end of the war. That's the beginning of the war, because now the elite are in full-blown panic mode.
And total offense is the only way. That's what gets these rats running, not playing games with them like they're actually having a dialogue. There is no dialogue with these rats. They have a total criminal will to dominate and enslave everyone. They want no competition. They hate everyone. People must wrap their minds around the criminal energy of the globalist.
Yeah, and now the other angles they tried during the election didn't work, so now it's the new McCarthyism. Now it's, Russia. Everyone's a Russian agent. They're blaming
Isn't it funny? It's the leftists that have hundreds of movies about, they were blacklisted and they couldn't do this and that. These were admitted communists that wanted to overthrow America and put conservatives in forced labor camps, and there was censorship in Hollywood, and I'm against it. But if you're a Russian, I'm against the censorship. You got proof somebody's an agent, arrest their ass. Don't do some half measure, but instead the very people that talk about blacklists all day are rubbing their hands together to shut us up.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And people in Congress, Donald Trump, he's got some allies, but even members of his own party hate him. There's members of the Senate that hate him, members of the House that hate him. So if it actually came down to a vote on January 6th, if they blew this thing up and where they're saying, okay, we've got to object to the vote, would Donald Trump, would the Republican Party automatically support Donald Trump, or would there be enough votes joining with the Democrats in the Senate and the House to invalidate his electoral votes and block him from becoming president? I think this is a big thing. People need to start focusing on that if we get through December 19th Electoral College, which is an open question because they're being openly lobbied. I mean, the left, the radical left, they're going gangbusters. They want to do whatever they can. People like Michael Moore's correctly saying Donald Trump has not been elected yet, because the next president of the United States is actually not elected until December 19th.
Exactly. You stole my thunder. Michael Moore loves to look like he's smart. No, he's being given the inside intel. He said, watch, Trump's probably not going to get in. Something big's going to happen before the election. We're seeing it.
We are seeing it. And so, people need to be aware of what's going on, because, December 19th, January 6th, if we can get to January 20th and Trump is successfully inaugurated and Obama actually does hand over power to Donald Trump, maybe we can breathe a little bit easier, although they'll still come after Trump every way they can, every angle they can, looking to impeach him, looking to go after him however they can, because it's not just the Republicans versus the Democrats, it's the globalists, it's the establishment versus Trump and his few allies in Congress. So he's going to be fighting an uphill battle every step of the way.
Well, look at this article from yesterday from Zero Hedge. Senate quietly passes the Countering Disinformation and Propaganda Act so the State Department and CIA can, quote, engage in propaganda and disinformation, and it actually funds it against the American people, H.R. 5181, and the Republicans helped pass this. And then Trump is totally mute on it. I'm told he isn't even aware of this. He's busy making hundreds of calls a day to get jobs back. So while he's doing that, because he just believes, hey, you're elected president, you're president, he still doesn't get how criminal they are.
Yeah, Alex, and the establishment they're trying to figure out what happened in this most recent election. And so, of course, they want to deal with Trump, but they're also realizing that the alternative media is a major threat to them. They've totally woken up to this. And so this list, this organization, Prop or Not, that the Washington Post came out and said, hey, look at all these sites that are Russian propaganda. Infowars.com was on the list, but so was two of my websites. The Economic Collapse blog and endoftheamericandream.com were two of the 200 or so
And
sites.
by the way, your articles are great because they might be 5 pages long and there might be 25 hyperlinks, mainly to video clips and mainstream news. That's why they hate you so much, is that they'll bury some really important thing in some innocuous article. You'll actually go link to it, kind of like The Guardian buried it, that this top ambassador was saying he met with the real leaker. It's U.S. intelligence. That was buried in an article that didn't even have that in the headline.
Yeah, and so they're calling me a Russian agent, which is absolutely insane. And I've written tons of articles about what a threat Russia is and articles against Russia. But they're calling me a Russian agent just because I was pro-Trump, just because I was attacking Hillary Clinton during the campaign, trying to get Trump elected. And so they're coming after people like me, people like you, Alex, all the alternative media, and they've got to shut us down. So they're calling us Russian agents. They're calling us fake news. They've taken the gloves off. They're coming after us.
They are the clear and present danger. And here's what viewers have to understand. Clearly, they're moving to shut down free speech. They're moving to try to unseat Trump. And notice, they knew there was total fervor. America was awake a month ago when Trump had just won. Then they began the drumbeat of recounts. Then they began the drumbeat of the electors. Because that's falling apart now. It's the #1 story. He's a Russian operative. We're all Russian operatives. Doesn't matter if all that's already been discredited and retracted. They're back with it again. A secret report. Nobody can see. Congressional hearings. On and on and on. To, again, destabilize the country further. And they're doing it during Christmas when they know you're busy buying presents and working extra hours, getting ready for the holiday and, buying a ham or a turkey or visiting grandma at the nursing home or trying to go deer hunting with your son. They know you're trying to have a life. You worked real hard all year. You want a week or so off, and they're not going to let you have that. They're going to tell you you're not Americana. You didn't vote to change things. You can't have an American dream. You can't make America great again. The Communist Chinese said, ha, 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 you'll never be as great as you were officially in their People's Daily 2 weeks ago. And you can't have Trump. He's not an American New Yorker success story. He's a Russian. I mean, just think about how insane this is. Then meanwhile, Communist China was given our deepwater ports, the Panama Canal, almost all the rare earth minerals, almost all our jobs, and has screw job taxes 15% lower than ours. And all we're saying is we're going to equalize that, and already all the money's flooding in. And that's their problem, Michael Schneider. I'm going to talk about that with you. The good side of the balance. The bad side is they're crazy. They're going for broke. They're not going to stop even if they lose there. They're going to try to kill him. Now, again, there's angels in this world too, not just demons. So I think we're still winning. But the battle is hot. It's real. It's more important than ever. They're doing this because they think people have gone back to sleep. It's why they played possum for a couple of weeks. But I told people, my gut told me that it's a miracle if he gets in. Okay, I'm telling you, it's a miracle if he gets in. It's a total emergency. But the good news is irrevocable damage to the globalists. People are awake, exciting things are happening, and he's already brought back so many jobs, and already spending's up for Christmas. Restaurants that were empty are almost full now, or full. The Trump effect is happening. We got about a minute to break, but your view on that?
Yeah, and a new survey just came out that showed that optimism about the U.S. economy is the highest that has been since 2008 when Obama was first elected.
$1 trillion has been added to the stock market in 30 days.
Yeah, the stock market's setting a new high after record high day after day. The U.S. dollar has surged to levels that we haven't seen in many, many years. So, and we're seeing jobs come back. We're seeing optimism. Whether before the election, it was 16% of Republicans were optimistic about the future of the economy. Now it's 74%. So just in 30 days, we've seen a tremendous shift in terms of how Americans are viewing.
And that's why the globalists are panicking, folks. Mexico and Nigerian places could be incredibly beautiful, wonderful, rich places. Their elites made decisions, this is on record, to keep people poor. It's a management system. The globalists want that here. We're trying to break their will. They're trying to break ours. So we've got to re-intensify our efforts. You've seen that we can win. Now we got to go to the next level, but you got to ask God for guidance. Stay with us. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say, see, I told you so, that communist Chinese-style net censorship was coming to the web, because it's already here. It's being announced. The way you keep the internet open and free is you get involved more than ever. Go to Infowars.com/app. A new battleship in the fight. Infowars Live, available right now. We're looking for a crew to man it. You gonna sit down and play games and be a trendy? Or are you gonna be part of history? Don't sit by and let the internet and free speech be stolen from you. Take action.